Hi, this is Militza, and I am here to present a little short mini class all about how to make a stress relief mask. So I want to thank the school for opening up the space for me to share this, and I'm just making sure that everything is working. I think so. Yeah. I don't know, it's hard to tell, but I'm going to go ahead and just hope that it's working, and I'm going to start sharing this recipe with you. So my name is Militza, and I'm a natural skincare herbalist, and I'm also a graduate of the school, the Florida School of Holistic Living, and I'm here today to share with you this stress relief mask. Now, our stress levels have definitely increased, and many of you may have started to notice that interaction, that connection between our skin and our nervous system, right? And so the way that our inner stress can really start to manifest and show up on the skin. And so what a lot of people are experiencing right now is their skin is feeling more sensitive and more reactive. You might start seeing inflammation, acne, eczema, all sorts of things start to manifest. And it's kind of the body's telling you that there's some internal stress going on to notice, right? And so in the way that you would turn to herbs to support your body internally, you can also use these same herbs externally to support your skin. Now, when you eat the herbs, your body does the job of breaking it all down, right? And extracting all the beneficial constituents and nutrients that it needs. So as a skincare herbalist, what we do is that we're preparing the herbs so that those constituents and those benefits are available for the skin, okay? And so this recipe is a really fun way for me to show you how to work with herbs for the skin, right? So we're gonna talk about how to take a whole herb and turn it into a powder that we can use as a facial mask, and how to prepare it in a way to really help extract out all the goodness that we need. So this mask features anti-inflammatory herbs, okay? Because our skin is feeling stressed out. And anti-inflammatory herbs really helps to support your body's response to stress. It helps to calm and soothe that. And there's two real big superstars that I love working with, and that's chamomile and turmeric. So I have a whole, herb here is a dried chamomile, and this is turmeric. So you could definitely use fresh herbs for your skincare. I like working with dried because I like to make a big batch of skincare and have it last for, as long as possible. So when we're working with dried herbs, our skincare is going to last weeks, even months, okay? But once we have water involved, then you have days to use it. So I'm going to start with dried herbs to extend that shelf life. So the superstars that we're working with are chamomile and turmeric. And then I'm going to start the little demonstration now and show you how to create the mask. So I can't see if there's any questions or if you can hear me or anything, but I'm hoping this is working. And I'm going to go ahead, and if you have any questions, if I see them afterwards, I'll definitely jump in to answer for you as well. But I'm also on Little Green Dot on Instagram. I'm generally very active there, and you can always send me a DM and check that out. I also have a class coming up with, hello, okay, I think it's all good, it's working, that's fantastic. I also have a class called Herbs for Skin that I'll be teaching through the school. That's on November 7th, and we're gonna really expand on the information I'm showing you here today. It's gonna be lots of fun, really learning how to choose herbs for the skin and how to prepare them for the skin. This recipe is the stress relief mask, and it's from my book, which is called Natural Homemade Skincare. So I'm going to show you how to create this mask here. All right. So I have a little setup here. We can hear you. Good. Awesome. All right. I have a little setup here. So let's say you're starting with your whole chamomile. And if you don't have like a whole dried chamomile flowers like this, you can actually just use chamomile tea that might be in your pantry. Tear open the tea bags, and we can start with that. Okay. So whatever's accessible for you. And then I already prepared it because I didn't want this to be loud and obnoxious. But to make the powder, what you do is you're going to blend it in the blender, okay? And here I've blended down whole chamomile flowers in my bullet blender. I like the bullet blender because you don't have to work with a lot of ingredients. In a blender, you have to add a lot. Otherwise, the blender blades can't really catch the herbs. But I like working with this one to do small amounts. So I've just blitzed it in the blender. I went bzzz, until it all powdered down. Okay? And let me pour it out so you can see what it looks like. Now, once you powder an herb, it has about a 6-month shelf life if you keep it in a sealed jar and out of the sunlight. But once you kind of open up the plant cell walls, oh, thanks for sharing that, Mila. Once you open up the plant cell walls and really everything's being exposed to oxygen and light, then it starts to degrade. So you want to use that within about 6 months. So here I have just pure chamomile ground down into a powder. And now that it's opened up, I can start to really kind of use this more as skincare. I'm going to combine this with, and I have the recipe here in the book, so I'll just tell you what it is. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of chamomile powder and, 4 tablespoons, scratch that, 4 tablespoons of chamomile powder. Ooh, I'll definitely answer your question, Carolyn. 4 tablespoons of chamomile powder, and we're going to do 1 tablespoon of turmeric, okay? So I actually learned about your question, which is, does turmeric make your skin yellow or orange? It dyed my fingers for days. Yeah, when you're working with the fresh root, it definitely will color your fingers and your chopping board and everything. I learned this recipe when I lived in Bali, and I had the opportunity to live in Bali for 2 years where I studied skincare making from traditional skincare makers. And turmeric, they make these pastes called lulur, and it's a turmeric paste. And actually in the tradition is that before a woman gets married, for 30 days, she is cared for. Her family will, do all these kind of different skincare treatments to care for her body, preparing her for her wedding day. It's really sweet tradition. And so the lulur, yes, it uses turmeric. It can kind of tint your skin a little bit, and it has happened. I even say this in the book, and I say, look, it might tint your skin a little bit. It won't last forever, usually about maybe the day. So I usually will do this on the weekend, making sure I'm not going out anywhere. But what you can do to get the tint off is that you can follow it up with a light scrub. And I have a scrub that I love, which is simply rice flour, okay? And you activate that with a little bit of oil. And then with wet fingertips and a damp skin, you scrub that, and that will help to lift and remove any kind of color. But I really wouldn't let that stop you from trying the mask because it is so incredibly effective. It's been used for centuries for the skin because of the benefits it brings and the way that it calms the skin so very well. So I wouldn't worry too much. Give it a try. So, and we're using a tablespoon, okay? And 4 tablespoons of chamomile. So these are the herbs that we're working with. And you could simply use that on the skin. But the beauty of skincare is that it should feel good on your skin, and I really love kind of, the creamy, creating a very creamy mask. So I add ingredients to help build that creaminess and the way that it feels on the skin. And a really great ingredient to do that with is oatmeal. And so you'll notice in my book, most herbal masks that I do, I usually have a base, and it's usually something like an oatmeal. And that gives it body, and it gives it creaminess, and it helps it, to really stay on the skin. And plus, it brings those added benefits, right, of the oats, which are really kind of moistening and very calming and really good for any kind of rashes or inflammation. Yeah, Carolyn, that's great. And the way you're talking about how you consume the turmeric, this is, I think, the beauty of whole food skincare, is that the very same foods that you use for your health and well-being that make you feel good, it's all about also understanding that it works the same for the skin, And so we just learn how to prepare these same ingredients for our skin. So here I have the oatmeal, and you can start with rolled oats, okay? And just like I ground it in the blender, you put it in the blender, you blitz it until it becomes powdery fine. You can also start with oat flour if you have that, okay? And so here I have my oat flour that I've already ground up. And to that, I'm going to add my chamomile. Okay, let me put this down so you can see a little bit better. I'm going to add the chamomile. I have the recipe in the book, but I kind of cook like a real cook cooks, you know, like I don't really measure it too much, but the exact recipes and are really in the book. But it's 4 tablespoons of chamomile and a tablespoon of turmeric. Okay, and I'm going to add the turmeric in as well. All right, and then you're going to just mix to incorporate all the ingredients until it's well blended. So now you have a dry herbal blend that will last up to 6 months if you keep it in an airtight container. But I love my skincare really fresh, and so I'll want to use this within like 2-3 months, right? But because there's no water, the shelf life is extended. You know, the minute I add any kind of liquid to this to turn it into skincare and activate the mask, now you have about a 2-3 day shelf life, and you want to keep it in the fridge. So this has really helped me to simplify things so that I could have this beautiful fresh skincare available for me when I need to use it. I can just go in my pantry, grab my herbal flower, and just start making my masks. All right. So I blended it really well. Okay. Now, how do you use it? Okay. So here I have some water. And you can imagine, let's say you're in your bathroom, you might just use water from your faucet, right? And just let that trickle into the powder. If you're drinking chamomile tea, because that really helps to soothe you and relax you, why not use that chamomile tea to activate your mask, okay? In the book, I actually recommend that you could add honey and yogurt. And these ingredients also seem to help with the staining that Carolyn mentioned and asked about. When you add the honey and the yogurt, it doesn't seem to happen as much, you know, kind of the color sticking into the skin. So that's an option for you as well. But I'm going to show you a really simple version, which is just pure plain water, which is beautiful. I also love working with hydrosols and using that in my masks as well, just to bring in those added benefits. And so you can kind of start to get creative and blend in what you need. So let's say, for example, here's where it gets really fun, right? Let's say, for example, the inflammation that's expressing in your skin right now is acne, which, you know, actually there has been a big uptick in people who are experiencing acne, especially during this time of COVID, because that stress, right? And when our body's stressed out and we're pumping out cortisol is the stress hormone, it actually increases the sebum production in our skin and can create acne. And so it's something that people have really been experiencing is this acne, and you don't want it to get bacteria involved in the acne, because then you get kind of like real red, inflamed, and angry acne, you know? So you might then want to add antibacterial herbs in this blend to support your skin if you're seeing acne, okay? And so you can really start to think about what it is that your skin needs right now. Let's say your skin is actually expressed stress in a way that you're feeling really dry and depleted. You know, this is another way that people's skin responds to stress. So maybe you want to add in very moistening herbs to kind of replenish your skin, right? So you can start to kind of create your own blends, and really you're thinking about it the same way that you might think about like a tea that you might drink, you know, to soothe your body. It's really the same exact, okay? But we, you know, in the class on November 7th, I really go into detail how to do that. But right now, let's focus on these anti-inflammatory herbs, okay? So we have turmeric and chamomile and the oats. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my mask. I mean, not really, but I'm going to show you how we do it. And then you just pour in some water. And I always like want to trickle in slowly so that you don't add too much and kind of make a soup, right? You're trying to reach a consistency that you can kind of paint onto your skin, right? And kind of really pack it on. I reckon this is kind of similar to making a poultice, huh? It's really the same idea, isn't it? We're just kind of trying to get those herbs on the skin, right? And give it maximum contact time on the skin so that it can kind of do its work, right? So I'm going to keep just slowly adding water. Now, I could use this right away, but if we think about it, like when we make a tea, we steep our herbs, right? The water actually helps to draw out the constituents. So what I like to do is actually give this mask now, 10, 15 minutes to steep, right? Essentially to steep. So the water can draw out all of the constituents that are going to be beneficial for the skin, okay? And once it reaches that kind of creamy texture that just feels right, I can stop adding the water and then let it sit. Carolyn, you asked aloe gel. Yep, aloe gel will be fantastic in here, especially to soothe any kind of inflammation and redness, to moisten the skin. That would be a great one to add as well. And I think it feels lovely too on the skin, right? So I would recommend that, yes. If you you could actually just add fresh aloe gel. You could add it sometimes, aloe vera gel that you might even use internally. You can use that as well. Okay, I've reached a consistency that I really like. It's thick, it's creamy, it's gonna stick onto my skin, right? And I'm gonna leave that for about 10 minutes, okay? So I won't apply it on now because I'll make a mess in front of you guys. But what I would do at this point, and just part of that whole skincare ritual, right? When we think about this, our skin is our largest organ. And what's so fantastic about the skin, the reason I just have this real fascination with the skin, is the way that it influences the way that we feel. It's very connected to our nervous system. Our skin is just lined with nerves. And so even the feeling of touch on your skin, on your own body, can begin to bring down your stress. It turns on your parasympathetic system. It turns off that stress response and that cortisol from pumping through your body. And it just kind of relaxes you, right? So I would step into my skincare routine with that intention to help soothe the body, right? So as that's steeping, that's a really nice time to prepare your ritual. And maybe you're in your bathroom. Maybe you dim the lights. I actually like to do that sometimes when I'm in the bathroom. Just kind of create some nice lighting, And then you're going to kind of put your hair up if it's in your way so that you don't get the mask in your hair. And when you're ready, you're going to go ahead and apply the mask onto your skin. And you want to start with clean skin, right? So that it has direct contact with the skin. And you want to leave the mask on for at least 15 minutes, okay? So what I really love to do is actually place it on, and with my mask on, I might start a body oiling massage, right? Where you take some body oil, just a pure plant oil that you like, put it in the hands, and just start to soothe the body and just gently stroke this oil onto your body, okay? All over. And then after you have kind of applied oil from your neck to your toes, you'll want to step into the shower. And I prefer to remove my masks in the shower because I don't want to make a mess in my sink and on my counter to clean up. It's a really just easy way to just remove the mask, okay? And so you just let the water run on your skin. You'll want to take a soft cloth, and in the shower, you just go ahead and remove that mask from your skin. And if you're at all worried that the tint might be on your skin, you could follow with a nice gentle scrub just to make sure that everything is off. And when you come out, you're going to feel very soothed, and your skincare will have really supported you. And it can be part of the way that you support yourself through stress. So this is just one of my favorite blends. In my practice, I work with people to help with skin conditions that they're experiencing. And so often we always find that link, to really what the core is, what the imbalance that's creating these expressions. And that's really part of the journey, is doing this. But these herbal preparations are so supportive, as you kind of support yourself, right? And so I'm really excited to share this with you. And if you have any questions, let me know. But basically all you need is turmeric, chamomile, or think about the herbs that you're really turning to in these times that are really providing you a lot of support. And it's so fascinating to discover how these benefits can really also be experienced on the skin too. And if you're curious to learn more, I'd absolutely love for you to join me next weekend, next Saturday. We're going to really start to unpack skincare herbalism and really learn about the benefits of these herbs and how they translate onto the skin, and how to prepare them into experiences that, you know, can become really part of your wellness. You know, I really view skincare as a tool for wellness and well-being. And so, yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this little mini class. It's so simple. I think we went through it very quickly, but that just shows you how simple it can be. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer. I'd be happy to answer that for you. But really, I think that pretty much is it. I'll let you get back to your Sunday and enjoy your day. And I hope this gave you a little bit of inspiration for something that you can do today to help yourself to feel good. Yeah? All right. Well, have a good rest of your weekend. I hope to see you next Saturday. You can follow the links. I think the school is going to provide you with some links so that you can follow those links and join the class. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please support the school and the incredible work that they're doing, and give them a like and subscribe and follow along and learn lots. And so thank you so much. Take care, and I will see you around. Bye.